What's good, boys? EG Shaggy here, back with another video. In today's video, this is going to be a life story. Now, before I get to telling you guys what happened and what the story is about, I would just like to say I don't condone anything that happened in this life story. I don't condone my actions, and I don't recommend you guys going out and doing the same thing. But there are just some instances where you have to take things in your own hands and, you do what you gotta do. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So this story took place about 2, 3 years ago, I'd say. I think I was like 20. I was just about to turn 21, and I was hanging out with one of my old friends at his crib, and we were chilling that night. We were just smoking, having a good time, and someone comes over to come match with us, like come smoke some bud with us. And before he came over, me and my buddy were each like smoking a blunt to ourselves, like a little personal type thing. And we both put out our blunts, so we figured like we'll just match with him, whatever, and like smoke a blunt with him. And then once when he leaves, we have like our own blunts for later. And I put my blunt in my cigarette pack, and my homie puts his in his cigarette pack. And I'm about to go to the bathroom, and this dude's like, "Yo, can I get a cigarette from you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, go for it. It's in my pack. My pack's on the table. I'll be right back." So I go to the bathroom, and as soon as I come back, he's like, "Yo, I gotta head out. I have stuff I gotta do, so I'm gonna catch up with you guys tomorrow or some shit." And I'm like, "Alright, cool. Peace out." And I don't even notice, like, anything's up until, like, an hour later. Till, like, we sit down and smoke or whatever. And I open my cigarette pack and notice that half my blunt's gone, like the half that I saved. And I'm like, at first I was super confused. I'm like, where could it have gone? I knew I put it in my cigarette pack. So I asked my old friend, I'm like, "Yo, have you seen my blunt? Like, I'm pretty sure I put it in my cigarette pack." And he's like, "Nah, dude." He's like, "I have my own cigarettes. I didn't even know you put it in there." So then I start like thinking to myself, I'm like, "Damn, where could it have gone?" And then he's like, "Yo, didn't you give dude a cigarette?" And I'm like, "Oh, this son of a bitch." So once I realized that happened, I pretty much came to the conclusion through process of elimination that this dude stole my blunt from me. I know what you guys are thinking. You're like, "Oh, this is petty. Like, I can kind of see where this is going." But you guys have to understand that this dude in the past has done some pretty sketchy shit. And I've known him for a hot minute, and he's never done sketchy shit to me. And this is the first time he's ever done it. But it pissed me off so much, the fact that he took some shit from me. Like, if he saw it and was like, "Yo, you trying to like smoke this up with me, and I'll smoke like a blunt with you tomorrow or some shit," I would have been, "Yeah, dude, no problem." But he stole my half blunt from me, and that's where it got me really heated. So I'm like, "Alright, bet tomorrow when we chill with this dude, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of him." So fast forward the next day, it's like 9 a.m. And I'm like, "Yo, let's chill, let's hang out. We'll go to the park and like smoke a blunt or some shit, 'cause it's nice out." It was like summer, right? And so he links up with us, and it was me and my one other friend. And right before he showed up, I'm like, "Alright, dude, here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna like confront him about some shit. Just be like, 'Yo, like, why do you screw over people that fuck with you and all this other stuff?'" And he's like, "Alright, bet." So as soon as like I get to rolling a blunt, my homie's like, "Yo, so can I ask you something?" And dude's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Why do you like to steal shit from people?" And he's like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" And he goes, "Dude, you steal shit from people that hang out with you." He's like, "And all you do is act like a piece of shit." He's like, "Why don't you just man up and say that you stole some shit?" And he's like, "Nah, I never did that. Like, I ain't never take anything from nobody." And at this point, like, it's getting heated between dude and my buddy. And my buddy's like, "Dude, you better step off me before I beat the shit out of you." And this dude goes, "So what you want to do?" And at that point, I've already set the blunt down that I was rolling. And I stood up, and I got like maybe a 2, 3 foot head start and just cold clocked this dude right in the side of his jaw. He stumbles back and stumbles into like the bleachers or whatever, because we're at the park. So I get to him, boom, boom, hit him twice in the face. He rushes me, and I end up tripping him. Like, I just kind of like hip toss him, whatever. And we get to throwing swings back and forth. And at this point, he's on the ground on his back, like turtling up. and I'm trying to punch this dude in the face, but he's like sitting there like kicking his legs up in the air trying to get me away from him. So at this point I'm like, alright, bet. So what I start doing is I just start kicking him in the ribs and shit until he drops his guard. Like, he drops his hands to protect his ribs. And as soon as he did that, I got on top of this dude and like mounted him and shit. And so I'm sitting there. By the time I mount him, I try to punch him in the face a couple times, and he brings his guard back up and he starts protecting his face. So me, being the individual that I am and knowing how to fight, I start punching this dude in the ribs a couple times till he lets go. And as soon as he drops his guard again, boom, boom, hit him twice in the face. And then I throw an elbow and it catches him right in the nose and he starts leaking everywhere. Blood just coming out of his nose. And my homie's like, yo, that's enough, he's had enough. And when I get up and like have my back turned, my homie goes, yo, knife, knife. And this dude tried to pull a knife out on me while I had my back turned towards him. So I turn around, and as he's like pulling the knife out of his pocket, about to open it, I just run up and kick his hand, and the knife like skids across the sand because we're at the park, and this park has baseball fields. So I kick his hand, and the knife skids across the sand, and I get to hitting him a couple more times. And once I finally realized, like, yo, he's had enough. He's not gonna protect himself. He's not gonna try to fight back. I just let up off him. I'm like, you know what? I'm starting to feel bad. I've whooped your ass already. We're just gonna leave it at that. So he stands up and he's trying to talk to me, and I'm like, dude, just get and like move on, or else I'm gonna beat your ass again. And this dude starts walking away, and as he's walking away, he's talking more shit. And I'm not the one to go after a motherfucker again if I already whooped his ass. But if you're talking shit after I just fought you and beat your ass, hell yeah, I'm gonna come back for round two. So I run up to this man, and I'm like, you want to keep talking shit when you walk away? I'm like, you know what? Give me everything you have. I'm like, I want your fucking shirt too. Like, I'm just being as petty as all hell and make this man walk home in like his shorts, right? And he's like, nah, I'm not giving you shit. So I clock him again right in the jaw. And as soon as I hit him again, this man takes off running. And that's not even the best part of this conversation, right? So I didn't take anything from him. I just whooped his ass and move on. My other friend called me like 10 minutes after that, and he goes, yo, did you beat dude's ass? And I'm like, yeah, why? And he goes, because he just called me crying saying you whooped his ass and he wants me to come pick him up. I'm like, oh, that's fucking hilarious. And the icing on the cake, right, is this dude's girlfriend calls me, and she said that he told her that I stole, I think it was like $100 from him and like his cell phone. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. It's like, if I stole a cell phone, how is he calling someone to come pick him up? I'm like, and I definitely didn't take any money from him, because I'm not that type of person. And long story short, this dude never ended up talking to me again until like a year and a half later. That's like the next time I saw him, and we ended up squashing it. And this dude ended up apologizing for stealing my shit from me. So all in all, like I said in the beginning, guys, I really don't condone, fighting someone. But, there are certain circumstances where you do have to just man up and fight someone. Like, there's a difference between being an asshole and just fighting someone just because. And there's, like, self-respect and, like, quote-unquote, like, preserving your honor. You know what I mean? So, there's just sometimes you gotta do it. But with that being said, you do what you have to do sometimes. If someone steps to you, or someone's rubbing you the wrong way, you kind of have to read the situation and do what you think is right. But honestly, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this life story. This is kind of on the longer side. Let me know if you guys enjoy these, and I'll sure as hell do more, because I have tons of crazy stories to tell you guys. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.